Hi, my name's Jeff Cave, and I've been the district vet in Wodonga for the past 22 years. Today I'm going to discuss the basics of winter nutrition. And I realise I'm talking to a wide area where seasonal conditions vary widely, but for areas where feed is tight in particular, producers need to question whether their pastures and their feed on hand is of sufficient quantity and quality to meet their livestock's energy, protein and fibre requirements. And this is particularly important for an animal that's lactating, as its energy and protein requirements essentially double. So a ewe or cow may be able to consume enough pasture and hay while she's dry to maintain her weight, but once she's given birth and is lactating, she may not be able to eat enough pasture and hay to meet her increased energy requirements. And once lactating, if there's limited pasture, livestock will need to be supplemented with grain or pellets in addition to hay. If you don't have sufficient supplementary feed on hand, ask yourself questions like, will I be able to source it at a reasonable price? Is adjustment an option? What's the cost and how far will my stock have to travel? Do I need to sell some of my stock now to ensure I can maintain my core breeders? But obviously allowing them to starve is not an option. So is hay on its own a sufficient supplement? Well, hay quality varies widely, and occasionally the fibre level of hay can be too high and an animal will not be physically able to eat enough of it to meet its energy requirements, which may result in weight loss. So if you are feeding hay as a large proportion of your sheep or cattle's diet, you need to closely monitor them for weight loss. We recommend that hay samples be sent to a laboratory for testing to obtain feed quality information. You'll then be able to make informed dietary decisions. Poor quality hay can be useful as a fibre supplement, although as I mentioned, it should be combined with higher energy supplement like grain or pellets for stock with high energy and protein requirements. But there is the need to provide roughage this winter for several reasons. First, for digestive function, livestock require a minimum amount of fibre and long roughage to maintain their digestive systems. And this is sometimes known as the scratch factor and stimulates rumination or cud chewing. Next, when moving livestock onto green pasture, their rumen needs time to adjust to a new feed type. And newly growing pasture may not have adequate fibre levels, particularly in the areas previously affected by fire and dry seasonal conditions. Also, it may be better to supplement stock to allow pastures to continue to establish and develop. And hungry cattle need to be prevented from gorging themselves on pastures that may have potential to cause nitrate poisoning or bloat. The provision of roughage will also help hypocalcemia when grazing winter crops. If feeding grain or pellets with too little roughage, acidosis or grain poisoning can occur. And as we move further into the cold, wet, windy conditions of winter, hay may be needed to reduce grass tetany risks in lactating cows, and it allows a way of administering Corsmag. Finally, roughage in the diet helps keep livestock warm because the fermentation and breakdown of cellulose helps create heat energy. If livestock don't have enough roughage, the weight will melt off as they will extract body fat to create energy for warmth. Therefore, it's most effective to feed your livestock late in the afternoon to provide heat through the night. For further advice, our Agriculture Victoria livestock officers can assist with putting a feed budget together to ensure the ration will meet your livestock's requirements going into winter. Also, drought feeding books for sheep and cattle contain information on cow and sheep requirements, as well as a guide to conducting and interpreting feed tests. And these books are available from Agriculture Victoria's Feeding Livestock website, or by ringing Agriculture Victoria's Customer Service Centre on 136 186, who can also refer you to a livestock officer. Well, thank you for listening in, and all the best for a good spring.